Imagine waking up one morning thinking it's just another normal day, and by night, your entire life is gone. Your freedom, your voice, your identity, everything. This is the story of Colleen Stan, the girl who survived 7 years living inside a wooden box, under someone else's bed. Yeah, real story. Not a movie, not fiction. This actually happened, and trust me, your mind is not ready for how dark this gets. Colleen was 20, young, friendly, adventurous, trying to see a little more of the world. She was hitchhiking, something way more common back then. People didn't overthink danger the way we do now. You see a couple with a baby seat in the back, you think, oh, they're safe, they look normal. And that's exactly what she saw when a car pulled over. A man, Cameron, his wife, Janice, a baby seat behind them, the picture of a wholesome young family. Colleen smiled, tossed her bag in, and hopped inside. She felt safe, she felt lucky. But there's one rule about evil: it never walks up looking like a villain. It shows up disguised as normal. Minutes after getting in, everything changed. The smile on Cameron's face dropped. His eyes shifted. His voice got cold. He suddenly pulled off the road. Colleen's heart started racing. Before she could even ask what was happening, she felt a knife at her throat. And in that moment, she realized she wasn't getting a ride. She was getting kidnapped. Cameron tied her hands, blindfolded her, placed a homemade wooden device over her head, a heavy torture box that locked around her neck. She couldn't breathe right. She couldn't scream. She couldn't see anything except darkness and fear. They drove her deep into the woods. Not a house nearby, not a car, not a single witness. Once inside their home, the nightmare began instantly. Cameron dragged her to the basement, cold floor, no windows, no sound except her own shaking breath. And that's when he brought out the box. A wooden box, small, claustrophobic, barely enough space to curl into a ball. A box designed not to hold someone, but to break someone. He shoved her into it, locked it, pushed it under his bed like she was an object. That became her world, a dark cage tighter than a coffin, 23 hours a day, every day, for years. Imagine this. You're alive, but you don't get to stand, you don't get to stretch, you don't get sunlight, you don't get to speak. You don't even get to scream because no one will ever hear you. All you have is the sound of footsteps above your head, and the horrifying knowledge that your life now belongs to someone else. Cameron and Janice slept right above her, literally on top of the box. Every night, he controlled every second of her existence, her breathing, her movements, her pain. He starved her, he tortured her, he used her like property. And the worst part, his wife helped him. Sometimes reluctantly, sometimes willingly. But she helped. This wasn't some random monster. This was a whole household built on cruelty. Slowly, Cameron started something darker, something psychological. He wanted total control, not just of her body, but her mind. So he created a fake secret organization. He told Colleen that the company was always watching her, that if she tried to escape, they'd hunt her down, they'd torture her, they'd hurt her family, they would kill her. He brainwashed her so deeply that she believed every word. To seal it, he forced her to sign a slave contract. She wasn't a person anymore. She was property, his property. And Colleen, terrified, broken, isolated, signed it. Because when you're living in total darkness, when you haven't seen the world in months, when pain becomes normal, your mind stops fighting. You don't think escape, you think survive. Sometimes Cameron would let her out, not to give her freedom, but to give her chores. Cooking, cleaning, serving the couple that owned her, doing laundry in silence, moving quietly around the house. like a ghost no one else was allowed to see. Neighbors visited the home many times. They said hi to Cameron. They said hi to Janice. They laughed. They chatted. Nobody ever knew there was a girl in a box right under their feet. Colleen was trained to keep her eyes down, never speak unless spoken to, never act human. At one point, Cameron even let her visit her family. Yeah, he brought her to her own parents' house. She sat in the living room, talked to her mom, hugged her siblings, and she never asked for help. That's how powerful the brainwashing was. She believed the company was watching. She believed escape would lead to death. Her family looked in her eyes and saw something off, but they had no idea they were looking at a kidnapped daughter who was being kept in a wooden coffin every night. Back in the house, the torture continued. Hours, days, years. Colleen forgot what freedom felt like, forgot what sunlight looked like, forgot what standing in fresh air was. She didn't live. She existed, barely. And the twisted part was that Cameron thought he was training her. He believed he could build the perfect obedient human, a slave, a possession, a thing. But then something unexpected happened. His wife started feeling guilty. After years of watching torture unfold right in her own house, guilt finally cracked her. She looked at Colleen, weak, shaking, starved, and saw a girl who never should have been there. And for the first time in 7 years, someone chose to help Colleen instead of hurting her. Janice approached her quietly, voice trembling, hands shaking. She told Colleen the truth. There was no company, no secret organization, no watchers, no killers. It was all fake, all a lie, all a tool to keep her controlled. "You can leave," Janice whispered. "He can't stop you." Those words didn't even feel real. After 7 years of silence, pain, and darkness, hope felt like a hallucination. Colleen hesitated. Her brain was conditioned to obey, to fear, to freeze. But Janice pushed again. "Go." And this time, Colleen ran. She burst out of the house. She ran like her life depended on every step. She didn't look back. She didn't breathe. She didn't stop until she reached a phone and called the one number she knew by heart. Her home. Her mother's voice cracked when she recognized her. Her daughter, who vanished years ago, now suddenly alive. Colleen returned home, a skeleton of the girl she once was, traumatized, terrified, but finally free. Free after 7 years living under a bed. When the police got the full story, they were speechless. They had never heard anything like it. 7 years in a box, brainwashing, a fake organization, controlled like an object. It sounded insane, but every detail checked out. Cameron was arrested, given over 100 years behind bars, locked up for good. Janice testified. Her guilt became the key that freed Colleen and put a monster away. And as for Colleen, she rebuilt her life, piece by piece, step by step, slowly learning how to exist outside a box. Her story became one of the most extreme survival tales ever recorded. Psychologists still study her case. Criminologists still talk about it. True crime fans still can't believe it actually happened, because think about it. A victim, alive in the same house, for years, hidden in plain sight, within reach of freedom, but unable to escape because her mind had been stolen before her body ever was. It's disturbing, it's haunting, it's unforgettable, and it proves something terrifying. Sometimes the strongest chains are the ones you can't see. Colleen survived a nightmare that no one should ever go through. 7 years in darkness, 7 years in pain, 7 years with no hope. And yet, she clawed her way back into the light. She wasn't just the girl in the box. She was the girl who lived and refused to stay broken. Her story still echoes today, not because it's gruesome, but because it's real. And real horror always hits the hardest.